if people that don't know your story, you obviously struggled, and then with Oakland, DFA, get to the Dodgers, become an All-Star, a great player that you are. Did you get away from being yourself? And then how did you get back to what you are now, if that's what happened?
No, I think mine was more dealing with a lot of mental stuff. Mine was more just kind of I've reached the top level of the sport I play, and I wasn't having any fun doing it. So for me, it was more kind of realizing my love for the game of baseball and dealing with the depression that I was going through of, every day I show up to the field, I didn't want to be there. Even though I had reached the big leagues, it was kind of just kind of a different story for me.
I don't want to get too deep, but what was the turnaround? Was it because I listen, to me, this is really interesting because I never really went through that. So, and if you don't want to talk about it, I totally get it. But what was it that you didn't, was it the pressure? Was it the expectations? And you were just like, man, this is hard. And then what changed? Because now when I watch you, it looks like you're having the time of your life every time you're on the field.
Yeah, I think it was a combination of a lot of things. It was just you reach the big leagues. It was kind of a bad clubhouse culture that we had there. There was a lot of guys I loved on that team, and then just the way I was handled by the organization. There's a lot of miscommunication between me and the front office, and then the front office and the coaches in the minor leagues, and there was a lot of things that had happened where it was kind of like, it just you saw the business of it, and you saw how everything was ran, and it kind of just it took it out of me. And then the turnaround for me was sitting on the couch at home, and you watch all your friends get called out on the line on opening day, and realizing, hey, maybe I still want to try to play. And you go to the local high school, and the kids are out there playing, and they're just they don't really have any worries. They're just out there having fun, and just knowing that that's how it used to be for me. I used to love being out there on the field. It didn't matter whether I had a good game or a bad game. You're out on the field just having a good time. And so just trying to get back to that was kind of the turnaround for me, was just whether I had good games or bad games, to smile and be out there on the field and enjoy it. And that was when my turnaround happened, really.
Was it John Fisher?
I don't know if he had anything to do with it, but yeah.
he's the man of the week. I had to do it. Okay. You're not the only one that had tough times in Oakland, right? Like, that story is wild. And what have you thought about it this past week? The reverse boycott was incredible, and it was covered so well on social media by fans. I'm sure, every baseball player could appreciate, because you guys love fans, right? You can appreciate what's going down there for them to show that it's a city that cares, and these are real human beings that are getting their team taken away.
Yeah, for me, it's a real tough one for me, because I know when I was there, I didn't have the best time and everything, but the Oakland fans are very, very diehard. I know they don't get a ton of fans a lot, but when they do, it's arguably one of the best atmospheres in all of baseball. When they're able to get 20, 30,000 people in that stadium, it is an absolutely wild atmosphere. There's really not anything else like it. And so just to see that the team get taken away from those fans is, it's a tough one. And it's just, it's hard to really go into it without bashing the organization too bad. And I don't like doing that. So it's,
it's okay.
But you just look at all the players that they've had over the last several years that they just let walk or not even pay. And, you could literally field an all-star team with the amount of players they had if they just would have kept them.
If you're talking to a minor league guy right now that just got called up and made the big leagues and is like, man, this isn't exactly what I thought, whether he's with Oakland, whether he's with any of the other teams that are struggling, what would you tell him? What would you tell him? Like, hey, I was feeling this, like I was going to the field, like, I don't even know if I want to be here. And this is like where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah, you got to find a way. You got to find a way to bring out your love for the game again, and realize why you're there and why you're playing the game. you're doing it because it's fun. You're doing it because it's what you've been doing your whole life, and you're doing it for me. For me, you're doing it because it's all you know. It's just what you love doing, and obviously winning the game is the whole reason we play. But if you're able to go out there and have the attitude that just do whatever you can to help the team win, and you can pass that off onto other teammates, and suddenly you start getting a group buying into that, and then you get a culture buying into that. And hey, you may not make the playoffs, but you're going to start having some fun out there with the guys. And you just got to find a way to make it fun with your teammates and keep the culture as light as possible. And there's so many different ways to do that. And it's, to me, that's what I tell them it's all about. You got to find a way to make it fun with you and your teammates, even if you're not winning.